right now we starting to see a lot of communities when it comes to the Asian community, the Chinese community, whatever community is part of that type of community. People are really turning on the establishments. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real. I don't get it, but I get it. Get what I'm saying? I get it, but I don't get it because everybody, just because a person did something, does not mean everybody needs to be penalized for that. Just like one black person do something does not mean every black person has to suffer do one person. But I get it and I don't get it. But I understand where it's coming from. But the thing is, just like how you talk about other communities, like when black people are being talked about, we're in an uproar. When you start talking about the Asian or the Chinese or the Korean communities and whatnot, they're going to have something to say. And not only they have something to say, they're letting you know how they feel. And I get it, because everybody's not going to be clear on how to move out here. It's no, it's no book on this. Like you can't rewrite something. Sorry about that. You can't rewrite something to tell people how to feel about what's going on.
Yo, this boycott might be the wake up call that Asian people really needed. Hear me out. Everybody worried about how this boycott is going to hurt Asian businesses, but I'm more interested in what this boycott is going to make us become. Let's be real. Most of us are operating on formulas that were built 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago by our parents and grandparents. Shit not the same no more. The world changed since then. Technology changed, communication changed. Man, everything changed. The only thing that ain't really changed is our systems. And here's another thing. Most other people look at Asians like we all the same, but that could be farthest from the truth. Because Asians as a whole is actually divided as fuck. Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, Cambodian, Thai, Filipino, those are all people from different countries. We completely different people. But in America, everybody looks at us like we're the same. So this boycott ain't just gonna affect one group of Asians, it's gonna affect Asians collectively in America. And history has shown, when pressure is applied to different groups of people at the same time, it has a way of making us realize that we got more in common than we actually thought. So could this boycott hurt many Asian businesses? You damn right. But could it also wake the Asian people up in a way that we never saw before? Absolutely. It could make us rethink how we operate and come up with new formulas instead of relying on old ones. It could make younger Asians start stepping up in a way that Asians ain't never stepped up before. Because one thing we Asians have always been good at is adapting. When times get hard, we adjust.
Yo, that's China Mac. I don't agree with everything that he does, but I'm gonna tell you something. He got a point. He does. It's the same thing as any culture. Like when you go through certain stuff and trials and tribulations, and you see people going through something. Like when you black, for some odd reason, you resonate when something happens. But not to say that everything you resonate with is right. It's the same thing with their community. Nobody is that different. They're not. We're not that different. For some odd reason, we live in a world where so everybody's separated. The news put out all type of chaos. It got everybody in the uproar. It got somebody saying, "Oh, this person didn't have a gun. This person did not steal something." But then when you look at and you find out in the real actual footage, the person did have a gun. They did point that gun at the person's son, but you don't see that. So we guessing we're trying to look at that whole scenario and say, wait a minute, that did not happen. None of us know. But we do know this. We know the person had a gun. It's sad that he lost his life. But I tell you this, they linked everything to the Instagram. Like, wait a minute, this dude was flashing a gun multiple times. And then it also comes into play. It's like you're not blaming anybody, but let's be honest. You start to look at parents and be like, whoa, hold up. You didn't know this was going on the Instagram? Nobody sent this to you? Nobody said anything to you? And I get it, a lot of stuff that people don't know what their kids are doing. But this part would make you actually sit back and say, "Oh, hold up. What is going on here? Something is off. Something is off." It is what it is. Certain things you have no control over, but when your kid is out here running rampant, doing all type of craziness, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, this is the thing that sets up someone to actually be unalive or take a life.
Old opportunities disappear, we make new ones. When doors close, we build our own. So the question shouldn't be, what if the boycott hurts Asians? The question should be, what if this boycott wakes us the fuck up?
So you got black people talking about how they're going to boycott Asian businesses, and then you have like Asian people coming on here, like complaining or giving their take on black people doing that. And as a 38-year-old black man, one thing I notice when I see all this going on is how y'all don't seem to understand how to appeal to black people at all. And every time I see an Asian business owner get on here and say you shouldn't boycott us, you don't understand you're making the matters worse. So let me teach you how to appeal to black people. If you want to appeal to black people, you have to be preemptive. Like you can't say something after a black person has complained about it. You have to do that. Like you have to come from the very beginning without being told. For example, like my mom. Let's say if she wants the house clean, we all can see that it's dirty. The moment she has to tell us to clean the house, it's already worse. Like you see it's dirty, just go ahead and do it. You saw an Asian man, killed a black boy, shot him in the back. That's the time to say something. Y'all didn't say anything then. Y'all were very quiet. You didn't really care. And then when black people say, you're not going to get any more of our money, now you are speaking out about it. And it's mostly the money part. Like, not, hey, that's terrible. It's, don't stop giving us your money. When ICE is deporting Mexican people, black people are vocal. When the president is being racist against people who aren't black people are vocal. When the police are treating any race unfairly, even when they're treating white people unfairly, black people are vocal. However, when a black kid dies, the only people that are vocal are black people, no one else. So then when black people are saying they're going to boycott your businesses, it has absolutely nothing to do with racism or the hatred of Asian businesses or anything like that. It is the instinct to protect the people who will protect us. You saw the guy come on TikTok and he is talking about how dare you boycott black businesses, like he's trashing black people all while dressed like a black man. It's like so many people love the culture, but they don't love us, and we don't understand that. And in those situations, black people don't get violent. Black people are just like, you don't support us? Fine, we won't support you. And in this situation, it's like a follow the lead kind of thing. It's like black people, we were supporting you. Like black people supported those businesses. They then learn the people don't support black people. So then they're like, okay, well, fine. That's what it is.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I think this is what's wrong with the world today. Especially, I'm gonna speak on the behalf. Can't speak for every black person, but for black people that think like him, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with this. And I know this for a fact. I'm 45 now. 45. Damn. Yeah, 45. I done lived 45 years. I done seen some stuff. I also noticed some things in certain cultures, and I also noticed things that will hinder us. One of the problems is he said, how can they appeal to us, black people? That's the problem. Nobody has to appeal to us. You know why nobody has to appeal to us? Because they see us not work together. It's the same thing over and over and over again. The same thing that we just seen happen to this young brother that got shot. It's the same problem that we've been having. We got kids being raised by a bunch of moms. We got a lot of fathers out here that are probably not here, or it's due to the reasons of women pushing their dads away. I'm a father. My son downstairs right now, sick. I'm getting him better. I made him a smoothie. He felt a lot better. He done threw up a couple times this morning. Me and his mom is no longer together. Ex-wife. We co-parent. Might have problems, but we co-parent. My son step out of line. She can't get him back in order. I'm on the phone. She calls me. Not only that, we share time. I don't go a week without seeing my son. She don't go a week without seeing her son. This is the problem what goes on in our community. We don't really come together like we should. We got the whole child support court. We got divorce court. We got all type of things going on where you got the other cultures in black people's business separating. When I say separating, it comes in. See, this is the sad part about reality. When you have social media with black women literally talking crazy about black men continuously. They don't flag those comments. But if you say something about a black woman, they would take that page down. Not only take it down, they will flag the hell out of it. Next thing you know, it stops putting traction behind it. All because you said something about black women that is truthful. Not truthful to me, truthful of the bashing of black men. You got Father's Day that comes up. You got women literally saying, I'm celebrating Father's Day. It's Father's Day. I'm the father and the mom. Okay. Well, a lot of times when you put courts involved and you do all these things, you put other culture in it and say, I'm going to make the black man do it. Okay. But guess what? That's your daddy now. If I can't have no say-so in my child's life, then once you put the courts involved, that means I'm going to go to jail if I don't do what the courts told me. That means the courts is the dad's parents now. Because that's where you run to. That's where you run. So I understand this video is about this protest, but this is the problem, how this dude thinks. I don't want to say he's thinking feminine, but I'm going to just say that he thinks a certain way. And that way is going to kill off the culture while we don't move together. We worrying about everybody else. Chinese culture, Korean culture, the Asian culture, don't be sitting up there. Black people need to understand us. They don't talk like that. Because they ain't got to. What we talking like that for? Why? We always need leaders. We always need a savior. Soon as something go wrong, God got me. But guess what? We always gonna be lost. Not all of us, but most of us that has the mentality of this dude right here. Because he seemed to think that people need to understand black. How? Everything that we think is cool and profitable, we don't own. I like Chinese food, but at the end of the day, I had to stop eating it. You know why? Because I realized too, the stuff that they cook us, they don't eat. And I realized that stuff is high in sodium, GMO, all type of crazy. And we don't know what we eating, but it tastes good. But at the same time, you still have a choice. So I had to stop. Has nothing to do about just Chinese. Has to do about being a healthier eater, like being able. That sounds a little crazy. Being healthier, trying to eat better, cook my own food. It's the same thing, even with soul food. That's my people's food. Soul food. Had to stop eating that too. High blood pressure. Shit, we killing each other. But what we really hurting each other is to come together. We can't. We keep preaching it. We've been preaching it for a long time. People keep talking about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King also felt a lot different later on and realized that coming together didn't help us. It was bringing us up to love each other to the point where as though we could become more profitable with amongst each other. Which means when people come to the community, they'll be able to buy it. They ain't got to worry about getting killed, getting shot, set up, whatnot. Because we move as a team. Not a gang, a team. We don't like this person over here, so what? We ain't got to deal with them. But they're not going to lose their life. But this is where we at now. This is where we at. We in a place now where as though it's just all over the place. So this is how we have to look at life right now. Life is a little confusing right now for a lot of people because they can't quite understand how to move forward. And that's where we fail.
That Black Americans are threatening to boycott Asian businesses, then I have seen Asian Americans speaking out against the murder of Cyrus Carmick Belton, a child who was murdered at the hands of an Asian man. And this has everything to do with race, especially when anti-Blackness is so deeply rooted in our community. I have said this a million times, and I'll say it as many times as I need to so you can get it through your thick skulls. The only reason why Asians exist in America in such a large population is because Black activists fought for our right to be here during the Civil Rights Movement. White people did not want us here. It's not enough for Asian people to just be not racist. You have to be anti-racist, and you have to be speaking out against these injustices, or else they'll continue to happen. We absolutely owe the Black community solidarity And the sooner that we realize that we're not much different from each other is the sooner that real change starts to happen.
I don't really know where this solidarity came from. And I have never, ever, and I've been studying a lot of things. I've looked at a lot of things. I've researched a lot of things. I was not aware that black people during the civil rights movement were fighting for Asian people to be here inside of the United States of America. As a matter of fact, I'm a huge advocate for abolishing birthright citizenship that was for the descendants of slaves because I think that too many people in the Asian community, in the European community, in the Hispanic community, in the Mexican community, in the Venezuelan community, in every single community that comes here illegally, I believe that they are taking advantage of a loophole in order to be able to justify them getting citizenship here in the United States of America. But that's neither here nor there. Number one, I'm just wondering at what point will these panda bears and these people that are basically looking for acceptance from the black community actually acknowledge that this wasn't a kid, this was a teenager that was carrying a pistol with a laser on it, pointing it on regularly on social media. And more importantly, the reason why he didn't want to show what was inside of his hoodie, because they genuinely thought that he had stole something. He was in the store with no money, in there for over 20 minutes, taking stuff, putting it back, taking stuff, putting it back. And when he was finally confronted, because the actual family had called the police over 200 times over a period of time, they've been threatened. People have been threatening to go to the car. They've been shot at before, the whole 9 yards.
I gotta say something. I did not agree with the Asian lady at first because I did not know. So I happened to just look it up. She's actually pretty correct. Frederick Douglass in 1869, actively advocating for the rights for Chinese, Japanese immigrants to enter the United States is strongly condemning yellow Perel. I don't know if I jacked that one. Peru. Probably Peru. You know what I mean? And yeah. So and hold up. Wow. The Black Panther Party in 1969, Fred Hampton, founded the original Rainbow Coalition. I'm sorry, I ain't illiterate, y'all. Stop it. In Chicago, alliance to oppress the working class communities, included with the Red Guard. Wow, Chinese American Youth Movement. Ooh. Wow, Vincent Chin protests 1982 after racially motivated murder of Chinese American man. Oh, wow. Jesse Jackson, he also stepped in and partnered with the Asian American activists. Mm, damn, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Black people have been standing, I guess from back then. Damn. Sometimes it's good to look up stuff. I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes it's good to look up some things. I did not know that. Uh, I'm gonna just say this. Looking at Antoine Daniels, what he was saying, I'm gonna say this. He probably didn't do his research because I didn't. I just looked it up because I said to myself, wait a minute. While she was talking, I'm sitting there and I'm like, hmm, I don't know. Let me look that up. I don't believe it. I was wrong. So, hey. All I know is, man, a lot of times, man, when we looking at certain things, man, we can be off sometimes. We can definitely be off sometimes. But hey, if you off, look it up. Look it up. Sometimes you find out a lot of things when you just look it up.
The outrage is about when you mess around and find out.
Hey, black community, how's that Asian boycott working out for you, man? I mean, I've been watching it online, how y'all gonna stop dealing with this Asian establishments and so on and so on. So that leads me to wonder to all these women where they're gonna get their hair from, their eyelashes, and where they're gonna get their nails and feet done, you know, and so on and so on. You know, where you're gonna get your Nike sneakers from and all that other shit, you know. I'm trying to figure it out. Me, I'm not boycotting shit. This is not my fight. It really isn't. Besides, this pepper steak and fried rice is banging. I just supported Asian business. I sure did. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, sir.
Look, I'm not. My man is wild. He has a good message. He's about to get to it, but I see where he going. Hey, man. Hey,
But let's talk about it. Okay. What happened with that young boy Cyrus? All right, you're only mad because of an Asian man. It was a person of another race that happened because black on black violence occurs daily. And y'all don't say nothing about it. You know, this BLM is not even involved. Reverend Al Sharpton didn't pop up. You know why? They've been ordered to stand down. They want y'all to crash out. And this is exactly what you're doing. Looting the place, burning it to the ground, whatever. You know, there's a thing called insurance. That man's going to rebuild bigger and better than ever somewhere else. Far away from y'all. So, I don't get it. Y'all want to boycott something, man? Why don't y'all start the Democratic Party? You know, that same party y'all been going so hard for in the paint. The same party that was against the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. If you're not familiar with these amendments, the 13th Amendment was the one where Abraham Lincoln signed and he freed the slaves. The 14th Amendment, okay, gave you the right to become a citizen. The 15th Amendment gave you the right to vote. And the Democratic Party was against all three of those amendments. This is the same Democratic Party that started the KKK, started Jim Crow, that has kept you oppressed for the last 60-something years in them same little neighborhoods. All right? This is why nothing's changed in your community. And here's a little fun fact, too. When you get to these inner cities, if you ever look around where the projects are at, there's always a highway nearby. Do you know why that is? That's in case you guys cut up and the National Guard got to get to your ass and they can get right off the off-ramp and get right off in the projects. Take a good look.
I can tell you he is 100% correct on that. Even growing up in a bad area, I didn't notice it before until I thought about it. Later on, when I heard about it, and I know they talk about like Black Wall Street and whatnot, and they talk about all the communities that was prospering, how they put highways through the neighborhoods, whereas though you can get there real quick, but also ride over top of it, noisy, or refineries. They put up all type of things in these areas, and it make you sit back and wonder why your area looks a little crazy. Something to really think about.
You didn't know that, right? That was strategically built that way, just to keep you contained.
I'm gonna leave it off here, but I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Pick and choose wisely whatever you choose to do out here, but just remember, whatever you choose to do, you got to stand on it. Whatever you stand on, just always know that everybody's not going to be with you. But as black people, I am not for the ignorance or anything, but I'm also not with nobody trying to violate us. But I also know there's good people on every side of the fence, no matter what. I made a lot of friends and you know what I mean, whatnot. But I understand when people say, well, if something go wrong, you see if they got your back. But look, man, a lot of things happen in the black community. Black people ain't got each other back. It's the reason why the hood is the way it is. But that don't make me be like, oh, I hate all my people. Nah. I come from it, so I get it. And I know what not to be around. But it is what it is. Like and subscribe. Y'all be safe out here and stay up, baby.